Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing kind of a different video for me. I'm going to do a little tutorial about how I do my sweater surgery, which is basically just when I make a mistake in my knitting and I need to, it's usually for when I'm like need to add some length or take some length out. I will do some surgery with scissors, cutting the knitting into two pieces, making the change I need to make, either adding length or taking length out, and then Kitchener stitch everything back together, which might sound intimidating, but it's definitely not as scary as it seems. If you can do the toe of a sock, then you can do this. And it definitely saves me time. For the example that I'm showing you in today's video, it's for the sweater that I'm wearing right now, which has this really, really long twisted rib cuff, which is slow for me to knit and kind of uncomfortable on my wrists. So I didn't want to have to rip this whole cuff back to fix the length of my sleeve. So that's why I opted to do the sweater surgery. It would be faster and easier for me to do it this way. So I'm just going to show you how I do it in case it's helpful to you. And if it's something you're like interested in trying at some point, you could always test it out on a swatch first. But I definitely think once you get the hang of it, it can help save some time and make your knitting a little bit easier to bear. So without further ado, this is how I do it.
All right, I'm gonna walk you through what I affectionately call sweater surgery. So I've knit this whole sleeve and it's too long and I don't wanna rip back this whole cuff. So I'm just going to pick up the stitches of the sleeve in two places, cut it open, unravel, and then Kitchener stitch them back together. I'm gonna show you how I do that. It's much less scary than it looks, and it's way faster than unraveling and reknitting this whole cuff. So I'm gonna take a needle, and since I'm not doing any knitting, I'm just gonna be unraveling and then sewing back together. It doesn't matter what size needle it is, and it's actually probably a little bit easier if you use a needle that is a smaller gauge than what you knit the fabric with. So I made my last decrease here. I'm gonna go 1-2 rows below that and start picking up there. So I'm just gonna pick up the right leg of each stitch on this needle all the way around the sleeve. And once you start picking it up, it's really easy to see which is the next stitch next to the one you've just picked up, so you don't accidentally go above or below where you need to be. So I'm just gonna do that all the way around the sleeve. So you can see the stitches are just going to sit on my needle like this. All right, so now you can see I've got my first round of stitches on these needles. And now I'm going to do the same thing again, lower down. And because I want to unravel this section between the ribbing, I'm going to go right to where I started the ribbing, maybe 1 row below that. We'll say right here and start picking up. Same thing that I just did, but doing it again on a second set of needles. All right, so now I have both of my rounds of stitches picked up, and now we're gonna do the scary part, which it's not too bad, you can handle it. So I'm gonna cut 1 or 2 below the top strand. Because I knit in this direction, I will then unravel in this direction. Just like you would if you were unraveling from a cast off, you unravel the opposite direction that you knit. So it doesn't matter where you cut into the fabric. I'm gonna go, maybe 1 or 2 stitches, just like leave 1 buffer row between where I picked up and where I'm gonna cut. And I'm gonna go into the right leg of the stitch and just snip. And I find it easier to just snip all the way around. You can cut both legs, it really doesn't matter. But then you'll have a hole going and then you'll see it'll just start to come apart on its own. So there's my first little hole in my knitting. I'm gonna cut all the way around and then I'll unravel back towards, or you can just unpick at this point. If you don't want to do any more cuts, you can just start to kind of unpick the stitches, unknit them basically. So the tail of my yarn is right here. I can just either take another needle tip or just the tip of my scissors and just unpick those stitches. It's faster to snip them if you don't mind letting some yarn go to waste, but you can also just unpick them. And these stitches won't go anywhere because they're stuck on this needle. That's the yarn that I cut, but these stitches aren't going to go anywhere. So you can yank on them, but they'll be fine. Everything's secure. It's just basically like a lifeline. So I'm going to do that I'm going to snip or unravel all the way around until I get 2 separate pieces. The perk to unraveling is that you're not going to end up with all of these little bits that you have to pick out. But if you don't mind that, then just snip because it's faster. All right, now I have 2 pieces of knitting. I have my cuff on this set of needles and my sleeve on this set of needles. I'm gonna start with the cuff first, and you can just yank on the extra tail since we left a buffer around, and yank on that tail to get you the rest of the way around, and you'll have just a tail and you're knitting, just like if you had knit this from this direction. All right, so now that we've got the cuff part all good, taken care of, back the live stitches are live on the needle. We can clear away all these little bits and deal with them later. And then all we have to do on this is just unravel. So there's probably some bits on here too that'll come out as you're unraveling, but you're just unraveling like this like you would if you were ripping back normally. So there's some bits that need to get unbitten, and I broke that yarn, so I'm just going to tear it. But essentially, you're just going to unwind the noodle yarn back to get the live stitches on the needle. So that's what I'm going to do now. All right. And just like that, I've got live stitches back on my noodles again. So if I wanted to cut these apart to add length, I would have not left such a big gap in between. I would have done like a much shorter gap in between the 2 sections. And then at this point you could just tie on a new string if you needed to and knit as long as you need to before doing this next step, which is the grafting back together. But because I was taking length out, I just took all of this yarn out. And now I need to cut myself a length of yarn for the graft. So I'm gonna measure out the same amount of yarn that I would if I was gonna do like a tubular bind off. I'm gonna snip this yarn here. And this yarn is gonna be noodly, so not the easiest to work with, but it's still functional yarn. So it'll work just fine to Kitchener these 2 together with. All right, and now I can just thread this on my tapestry needle and prepare for a Kitchener stitch just like I would with the toe of a sock. So I've got my needle here, and what I'm gonna do is line the 2 sets of needles up. The second needle is not that important. What I do when I have like a second needle like this and I'm trying to just have the stitches, I kind of just tuck it into my knitting and then scoot all the stitches over on my needle and then do the same here. And this string I can trim a little bit. Right now I'm just gonna put it out of the way up into the sleeve, but I don't need to worry about that because I'm gonna use this one. So we're gonna scooch the live stitches from the beginning of the round onto the needle, get the other needle out of the way. You could do this with a really long cable as well and it would work just as well. So Kitchener stitching, I'm gonna hold the 2 needles perpendicular to each other, just like I would if I was casting off a sock, the toe of a sock. All right, so for my Kitchener, I put my darn needle through my first stitch as if to knit, and then through the first stitch on the back needle as if to knit, which is what I was doing. Yeah. Then I'm gonna knit this one off, and then go through this one as if to purl, back stitch purlwise, make sure that's on the outside, and then through this as if to knit. Again, this is not a Kitchener tutorial. I'm like not a Kitchener expert, but once you get into the rhythm, it should be super easy. And all you want to just do is make sure that you have a decently even tension. It doesn't have to be perfect because it will even out when you block. But just try to keep your tension even like you would if you were doing an Italian bind off. And you just do that all the way around. All right, so here we are. It's a little wonky at the start and at the end because I had to tie on a little bit more yarn. It's always hard to get your tension right at the very beginning, but for the most part, I mean, you can see right now where I've done the stitching, but with blocking, I think it will even out really nicely, and it's close enough to the cuff that I don't feel like it'll be noticeable. So yeah, I have reattached. My sleeves are the same length now, and I'm all done. Not as scary as it sounds. You can definitely do it. And with a little bit of blocking and TLC, it'll look good as new.
All right, so that is a little look at my sweater surgery process. It might seem scary, but it's really not that bad once you get the hang of it. And I wanted to show you the tension. So this is the sleeve that I did the surgery on, and you can kind of just maybe barely see the row of stitches right in here where the tension is a little bit different. That's the row of stitches that I Kitchenered in. But from a distance, I think it looks perfectly fine. The tension matches up nicely. And I'm very happy with the results of this sweater surgery endeavor. Definitely saved me time. Definitely very happy I didn't have to re-knit a super long twisted rib cuff. So I hope this video was helpful to you. I hope that you use the techniques in this video to make some changes to sweaters that aren't working for you as part of our fall fix along, which is a make along I'm running in September and October, just to encourage all of us to make changes to knitwear that isn't quite working properly so that it fits us a little bit better, and so that we can enjoy it in this fall and winter season. Yeah, so that's it. If you have any questions about how I do things that I maybe didn't explain properly, please feel free to leave them in a comment below. I will also link maybe a more clear tutorial for the Kitchener stitch down below because I don't think I did the best job of explaining it in this video. So I will link some tutorials for you in the description box as well. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful, and I will see you again very soon.